Hi, this is Ellie with Full Moon Light Tarot 20, and this is a twin flame check-in reading. Now, I just did a tarot reading that talked about the divine masculine actually stepping into his emperor role and his embodying the emperor, leaving behind toxicity and karmic connections and walking a whole new path towards unconditional love. They're looking for unconditional love now. And I see that reflected in these cards here. Now, the top row, the top 3 cards are for the divine masculine. The second row is for the divine feminine. And the third row is the union energies. So for the divine masculine, I have learn. Let love show you how to learn from each other. Heart. You begin to feel your heart beat faster when you are close. And openness. Be open to accept divine guidance in your relationships. So, and I feel like with what the divine masculines have just been going through, are just about done going through, leaving those karmic connections behind, working on their toxicities, letting go of the toxicity, and actually seeing, they're actually going within, and they're actually learning what love is and what it's not. And they're learning that what they have had this whole time was not really love. It was karmic attachment. It was enmeshment. It was negative attachment, right? Born from wounding from their childhood. And they're leaving all that behind now. So they are learning what love is. So their heart is opening up, right? And I don't know if it's just the divine feminine collective, because I know that a lot of us have had a heart chakra awakening. I know I have. I've had a heart chakra awakening in the past month, where now I'm starting to embody that unconditional love, and I'm starting to embody that love and joy energy. So that's like inner union. And I wonder if the divine masculines are affected by that, because you are energetically connected. So whatever you're feeling, they're feeling as well. But I don't know if they're understanding it. They are being guided to be open. And I feel like they must be seeing signs. They must be having dreams, right? Dreams about their divine feminine. Because they're now in this state where they're really going within, where before they were hiding, right? They were unwilling to look at their patterns, at the masks they were wearing. They were unwilling to look at that. Every time a trigger would come up, they would mask it, right? They would hide from it. They would try to numb, right? They would fall into toxic behavior. They would distract themselves with other things or with other people, just so they wouldn't have to look at these things. And now spirit has taken all that away, and they can't hide from it anymore. They have to look at this. They've had no choice but to work on these things. And now they've had a massive awakening, I feel. They have. And I think they're starting to understand a lot of things that divine feminines have known for quite some time. So don't be surprised if there's going to be some kind of communication coming soon, especially now with the 11/11 energies. There's going to be massive changes coming in, and we're about to step into a new cycle. And I feel like a lot of unions are going to take place. Now let's move on to the divine feminine. Union. The union of divine soul counterparts is a miraculous event that begins when you least expect it. See what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's not just me. There's been a lot of heart chakra openings for us. And this is the time. And I feel like a lot of us are reaching inner union. And when you reach inner union, it's attracting outer union in the 3D. Now, this doesn't have to be with your counterpart. This doesn't have to be with your twin flame if they're not ready. This can be a soulmate coming in to take their place. Take it as a resonate. You would know. You would know whether you want to be with your divine masculine or if you don't. That is up to you. That is your choice. So, signs. Watch out for signs leading you to true love and emotions. Look deep within your emotions. And I mean, yes, especially with that heart chakra opening, that's all we are right now is emotions, right? And your emotions are your guidance system. So, are you still feeling triggers? Do you still feel triggers coming up if you hear news about something from your masculine, or if you see them out in public? Do you still get sometimes I would get negative feelings because I could still sense the negativity. I could feel the toxicity in my person. And as soon as you see them, you get this feeling, and it's a not very nice feeling. But those are the triggers, right? And I feel like now that the masculines have worked on their toxicity, when you encounter them again, you're going to feel different about them. There's going to be more peace in that connection. And the other thing I've noticed too have been the dreams, because I've always dreamt if I had a dream with my divine masculine, he would not look at me in the dream. He would be completely ignoring me, but he would interact with other people. Those were always my dreams. And I just now had a dream where we actually had a conversation. So things have shifted in the connection. Not in the 3D as far as I can tell, but in the 5D. And I can tell that things for him are shifting in the 3D. They are. Does that mean we're going to be together? Who knows, right? Is there a soulmate coming in? Who knows? Be open to it though. There are signs. I see tons of signs every day, and I'm sure you do too, divine feminines. You must see tons of signs every day. Now, for the union energies, I have here connection. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable, and we know this. You cannot break. And I hate it when I hear other readers say, oh, yes, you can sever ties with your twin flame. You cannot. You cannot. You can actually sever energetic ties to other people. And that is literally something that you can do. But with a twin flame, you cannot. They are literally you in another body. They are your soul having having two incarnations at the same time. So this is you, your soul in that other person, and this is what attracts you to them, because you see yourself in that person. And when you first meet in the 3D, you have soul recognition. And that's when the chakra systems are connected with energetic cords. And this is why you have such a strong connection, because literally your energetic centers are connected. They light up. And that's when you go through that whole phase of, you feel like you're on cloud 9 before all the triggers start coming in. So this connection is undeniable, and nobody else will ever understand this if they have not experienced it. Nobody will ever understand how strong that connection is, and there is no severing that. And even if you never end up together in this incarnation, you're always going to be connected. You're always working together in the 5D, right? You came here for a purpose, and that purpose will be fulfilled whether you fulfill it together or apart. Now, illusion. Avoid the trap of mistaking a fantasy for a true soul connection. And recognition. The divine will help you recognize signs and miracles. Yeah, I think we're recognizing signs and miracles around us, because things are always shifting. And it's amazing when you're on this journey after all the healing, and then you come out on the other side of it, and it's just amazing how your life shifts, and the people that you meet, and how everything transforms. excuse me. Now that illusion card though, I think that just speaks to our discernment when it comes to the other people around us. And I always say, be very discerning with who you follow on social media. Other tarot readers, because some of them out there, they are not giving you the full scope of what you need to work on. And I hate when I'm on TikTok and I see those supposed coaches and they're twin flame coaches and I've helped over 4,000 twin flame couples, and I just shake my head and I'm thinking to myself, why would you present yourself in that way? Why do you start your reading out that way? Like, I'm on here not to make money. I'm on here to help people. And I want to share my story and I want to share my experiences so they can help other people. And this shouldn't be about making money, about being famous. It shouldn't be anything like that, which is why you don't see my face on here, because the reading shouldn't be about me and what I'm dressed in today and what makeup I've got on. The reading should be about the cards, what they convey, and the message, right? That's what they should be about. So be very discerning with what you consume on social media and who you believe and who you don't believe. Always go with your gut. And even if I say something that doesn't resonate with you, then don't take that to heart, because your inner guidance system will always tell you what is true for you and what is not. If something does not ring true to you, then you know the answer, that it's not true for you. But that illusion card, avoid the trap of mistaking a fantasy for a true soul connection. Now, what I take out of that is not that you are looking at other people, other romantic connections. What I take from that is that maybe we're letting go of attachments to other people that are not good for us. This doesn't have to be romantic connections. This is something that the whole Twin Flame Collective, the masculines and the feminines, have been working on this entire time. The Divine Masculine Collective, more than anything, they are, some of them really truly thought that the karmic connection that they were in was a soulmate connection. And that is only because that connection was feeding their toxicity, right? They were two hurt people trying to make it work. And all it was doing is they were feeding each other's toxicity. And that was unhealthy. And I mean, we've been through two divine feminines, but we've had much more time to snap out of it and to heal these toxic traits of ours than the divine masculines have had. So they might still be working on some of that. And it's not just romantic connections. It's all the connections in our lives. These could be friends. These could be family members, people that we're close to that could very well be very toxic, no matter how much we love them, right? So to have that discernment of who's good to have around you and who's not good to have around you, that is something that we're really learning as we're on this journey, because we need to be true to ourselves. And if someone continues to hurt us, we need to step away in order to protect ourselves, right? No matter who they are in our lives. That's what we're all learning. And no matter how much you fantasize that this person, you love this person and you want them in your life and you're hoping and praying that they feel the same for you, then, you know, you have to eventually face the truth. You know, they will show you who they are. People might put on a mask at the beginning and rope you in, but eventually the truth will come out. The truth will always come out. And you need to accept that truth and decide what you want to do with it. So I feel like there's a lot of unions coming in now. A lot of the Divine Feminine collective has finally reached that stage where they are in inner union. And our job now is to stay in that, because sometimes it's really easy to be thrown out of it if we let what's happening in the 3D influence us, because sometimes it takes time for these energies to have an effect on the 3D, right? So you can be in inner union and really feel that loving connection, but it can still take a little bit of time until it shows up in the 3D, until you actually see the results of that happening. So be patient, Divine Feminine. It's all happening for us. That's what I got for you today, guys. Love and light. I will talk with you next time.